Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are either watching or listening to episode 199 of Greynoise, the podcast, where, well, at least for today, we'll be talking about Google shit. We'll get there. In any case, it is Friday night, 7:30 p.m. On a Friday night. So we are at the Sin Shop. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. We are still the Las Vegas Valley hackerspace. For information on the shop, go to sinshop.org. For information on the meetups and stuff that we do here, go to meetup.com/sinshop. We've got classes. We've got things going on. Tomorrow is a board meeting. Not this coming Monday, but the next Monday will be Lockpick. We have Heba Comm on Saturday. What time was that, though? That's the part I forgot.
You and me both.
Oh, sorry, it is Sunday. Yeah, it's this weekend for sure. I can guarantee that one.
You know how you can find out?
Yes, you go to meetup.com/sinshop, like what Satchel's doing currently, I believe. Sure. Anyway, for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. Now let's see if we can get this out of the way before we even get started. If you're not in the live stream already, you should be. That's Discord. That's the Discord app. Join our Discord. Go to Greynoise, again, GREYNOI.SE. The Discord link is there, so you can chat with us, talk with us, etc., etc.
And if you're interested in Heba Comm, that is occurring on Sunday, June the 2nd at 1 o'clock p.m.
It is Sunday. I knew it. I was off by a day. Anyway, do you guys have anything that you want to announce?
No. What is life?
Got it.
The tail end of Friday lasts too damn long.
You know, yeah.
For it being a 4-day week, this is a long week.
Right? So I took off Tuesday, and so I only had 3 days at work.
And it was so long as fuck, right?
Today just drug on.
Do you feel like that's because you try to cram in your Monday, Tuesday work into the rest of your week when you take a long weekend?
I don't do that.
No.
I don't believe
do
that
that.
you don't. I think that's a lie.
No, I don't do that.
I agree with Doxy on that.
I don't
I really
believe
don't.
I don't think you do.
I only had 2 tasks to do this week, which
And I feel like you expanded
me-
that to 10 tasks. I have known you for quite a while, and I know how you work, and you...
Oh, hold on. So how do I work?
stressed.
I don't
literally.
I'm not stressed. See, he's not even disagreeing with you.
No.
Oh wait,
I'm not disagreeing with him.
oh.
He's agreeing with me.
I am agreeing with him.
You are the most
All
unnecessarily
right, here
stressed
we go.
person.
Right and left, right and left.
I'm just saying.
We're starting off early.
If anyone is going to cram a 5-day work week into 3 days, you would be that person.
Wow.
Unnecessary, dude.
No,
it's
no, he's right. He's
Unnecessarily. Anyways, I was asking, do you feel like you do that, Satchel?
Do I
He
feel like
already
I
knows
do
the
that?
answer for me.
Cram a 5-day work week into 3 days? No, I don't.
Because I was wondering if that made it feel like your week was longer.
No. In fact, that would have made it go a lot faster. I wish
If you're busy and whatnot.
I wish I had done that. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But just like today, my motivation, I don't know why, but it just dropped to 0. I was not motivated to do a damn thing.
I feel like that's the norm. Who wants to do things?
Here's how much I didn't want to do things. I was like, man, I wonder if I have any compliance training to do. And I did. And I was stoked. I was like, yes, I'm going to learn about trust in the workplace. Great, let's do this. You know, like that's how much I didn't want to do other
You're
stuff.
like,
That's riveting.
Fuck this job stuff.
That's riveting.
I get it.
I mean,
get it.
it's a requirement.
I get it.
I had to do it. So.
I get it.
Anyway, we move forward.
Oh, so really quick,
Yes.
because of Doxy's statements last week about how I don't relax and whatever, I actually
Right.
got in about 3 hours of video gaming this week.
Okay.
I know it's not a lot.
Wait,
I know
did
it's
you
not a
ever
lot.
say what game you played?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you did.
I told you.
did.
You said
Yeah.
that actually counts.
That counts. Yes.
He's boning up on Mortal Kombat, so I don't embarrass him. We have a tournament here.
What the fuck
at
ever. Wait, hold on, time out. When we were going downtown, didn't I beat you at least once?
You beat me
At
because
insert
Laugh
school-
tricked me.
How? How'd she trick you?
She distracted me.
No, I think you just lost on your own.
Never happened.
It was one round. Can you just give me that?
It was no, because it literally was Laugh because she made a point to talk about it afterwards. We talked about it on the show afterwards.
She made it like some sort of social engineering thing that she did.
Yeah. You guys teamed up to beat me. I mean, that's fine.
I didn't even know she was on my team.
That's fine. You guys had to resort to trickery to beat me. That's fine. It will never.
fine.
Laughbox is gone now. It will never happen again. So, GG.
Uh-oh.
That means more practice for me this weekend. Yeah. Anyway, so today we are going to be talking a little bit more about Google than usual because we have a couple of things that we want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about with Doxy here. Let's talk about phones because we haven't done it in a while.
Well, because I mean, we've been talking about it over lunch for the past couple of days. Me and Chen go to lunch sometimes, all the time.
No, we don't. No.
And because we've been talking about the black slabs that we have that are all the same essentially, and they all cost
I think we were talking about that today at the lunch that we don't go to.
$1,000 and whatnot, and how it's just not worth it. And a couple of weeks ago, Google released the Pixel 3a and 3a XL, which are mid-range Pixel devices. They're essentially the Pixel 3 and 3 XL,
What's
but
counted
they're
as
mid-range.
Okay, what's counted as mid-range? Is it like a RAM spec or?
Okay, and that's a point I wanted to make is
Okay.
that normal mid-range phones sacrifice in certain ways, like the camera's probably going to be kind of shitty, the screen is going to be subpar, and the build quality is going to be okay, but if you do anything outside the norm, you're going to break it probably. So Google did it a bit differently, where their camera is like the same camera that's in the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, and the
Yeah, I've seen those advertisements.
yeah.
like they compare their picture against like
the iPhone XS.
iPhone X, yeah.
Or iPhone X, yeah. The same. So the camera quality is phenomenal. The build quality is not glass. It's still some sort of weird plastic backing, but it's still a very good design build or build quality, and it suffers with the CPU or the It has instead of the 855, it has a 635.
How many cores do you remember? Because like what normal high-end
don't
phones I
know.
think are at like 8 cores now,
Sounds right.
something like that. And like okay, so for instance, this phone I know it has 8 cores and it's got 6 gigs of RAM. Do you know how much RAM? the
I'm
3
almost
has?
positive 4, which is could be a cause for concern because I know the 3XL and the 3 haven't done well with RAM management, but I think they might have fixed that in a software update. I'm not positive because I have the OnePlus 6T, so I don't know. But I know that initially they had some issues with RAM management and like speed and stuff.
How much was the 6T from OnePlus?
I want to say 550 or maybe 600. I'm not
But-
positive. But it was more of a mid-range phone.
Right, but you're getting your worth out of it because
Yeah.
again, the whole argument is that we don't really think or know or care that a phone is worth or a phone is like $1,200.
I don't
We
think.
just
Yes, exactly.
Don't see the
Oh.
value added there anymore.
Which is the thing. So like, okay, so the Pixel 3a and 3a XL are like, by all accounts, great phones. Like they've only been out for 3 or 4 weeks now, but everyone who's had them said they're like great phones, and they start at $400, which is even better than the old Nexus phones. If you
Yeah.
remember the Nexus program and whatnot. So like, those are great. mid-range devices, like, and most people, they only care about battery life and camera. People don't give a shit about what like the housing is. We're not, because most people put cases on their phones anyway. They don't give a shit what it's made of because they're gonna put a case on it, right? And like the screen, no one really knows the difference between an OLED, LCD, all that stuff, Samsung versus LG, whatever. But the screen is more than good enough. It's more than adequate. It's a good screen.
I thought the screen was like the guts of the screen were the same. It's just Lexan instead of glass.
I'm sorry, and you said that it was not OLED, right?
It's not OLED.
It's not.
I'm pretty sure it's
okay.
LCD.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's LCD, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
But I mean, but no one cares. No one even knows what LCD versus OLED
Right,
means.
we're talking about technical shit.
We're talking people who want to go into a store. They're like, I want to buy a phone that's like good but not crazy expensive. I don't want to buy a $1,200 phone. I want to buy a good phone for a reasonable price. And like, if you see a phone that's $400, oh, it's a Pixel.
Yeah.
And like, if it stands up to the Pixel brand name, which I mean probably isn't a huge thing at this point, but you know, it does well.
I think it was Steve Jobs who hated phone cases. Like he hated phone cases because it detracts from the form factor of the phone. Like what's the point of having this really nice sleek design where you're gonna slap a case
I
onto
kind
it?
of admit I hate phone cases too. I can't stand
I also do, but I'm also very scared.
Exactly, but you can't. You hate the phone case. I think we all can agree we hate the phone cases. But what we hate more, I think, is dropping the motherfucker.
I don't use one.
Yeah,
It will be now.
So
Community mic.
So Steve Jobs hated phone cases, so
we believe we might have to be fact checked on that.
No,
he promptly made a phone that if you drop, it explodes.
Yeah, I mean, the iPhone was like the most breakable phone ever.
Well, I mean, because
But it does look nice. It looks great.
Right, yeah, it looks great.
Right, it does
Looks
look nice,
great.
but I think about I think it was the iPhone 4X first, like glass on both sides, or like it was the
iPhone-
first one that had like a glass backing. I think.
No,
iPhone 4?
no.
From the beginning?
iPhone 4. Sorry,
iPhone
Sorry.
4 was the first with the glass backing as well.
Yeah, sorry.
So you can crack the screen and the case or the
sorry.
back.
I thought you said iPhone X.
No,
Sorry.
iPhone 4. It was the 4
because before that,
Was the Nexus 4 out before the iPhone 4?
no. I think when the iPhone 4 came out, it was okay. I want to say no, but also I'm not positive.
Yeah.
I gotta check.
We could talk about the design versus utility in a second too.
Yeah.
Real quick though, on the 3A versus the 3, I got both of them. I got a little comparison up here right now. So there's different colors available. The 3A comes with 64 gigs standard of storage capacity.
which is more than enough.
Yeah. Clock speed is half a gigahertz slower. So it's 2 gig versus 2.5 with the 3. Okay? Lots of numbers here. The screen is actually slightly bigger, 5.6 inches versus 5.5.
Oh, and one thing to note about the screens is that the 3A and the 3A XL, neither one of them have a notch. They're both bezeled
Clear.
phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm comparing 3A versus 3, not 3XL.
So is the 3A? Do we know if that's an LCD or OLED screen?
I was
you're
just
just
about to
checking
get to that. Yeah. Oh, they are both OLED.
Oh,
OLED.
okay.
Oh yeah,
All right, yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
yeah.
Those are good. That's good then.
For $400, that's phenomenal.
Right.
even.
Yeah. Community mic.
So same hardware specs is the latest iPhone. And so if you compared the Pixel 3A to the latest iPhone, which is $1,000, that Pixel is,
400.
but the hardware specs are like within like 95% or really close to it. You wouldn't notice a difference in use.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about
And so,
600. Yeah.
but even worse than that is like you got just under a $500 Pixel 3, right? Okay, and then you have a Huawei that is $275, has almost exactly the same specs.
But Huawei is banned now.
Not
They're not banned?
no.
I mean, they're not banned, but Google removed all their services from them, so they're essentially useless.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the phone without Google Play services?
It's loaded with generic Google, the one that you can get right now for $275.
The what, like the P20? Is that a what?
No, what is it? It's the 3 or something 3.
I
can't
can't
remember
all
what-
the names confused.
So with the same hardware specs though, we're talking about the 3A versus the iPhone X. So you're talking about like $600 in brand name recognition?
Brand name recognition, form factor. I mean, the iPhone looks, if you put them on the table side by side, it's a little bit sleeker. It's a little bit nicer looking, but the Pixel's probably.
It's absolutely the better buy.
Well, there's no way that you're spending twice the money and getting the same hardware specs.
And getting twice the product.
All you get is aesthetics. You're paying $600 for aesthetics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Aesthetics and name.
Yeah.
Which has been a problem since the beginning with the iPhone. Well, not since the beginning because there's nothing to compare it to, but like for the last couple of years, that's been a problem with the iPhone. Is like you're paying for the, but even the Pixels at this point.
Well, you're also like out of the box. You have a bit more security with the iPhone.
That is absolutely true.
You have a bit more security with the iPhone. If you had a consideration for that, you might want to go that way. But there are ways to make your Android
Secure.
as
And I mean-
But
almost.
of course, that's talking to the technical crowd.
Yep,
So that's a thing.
He's lying.
About the security?
100%.
How so? Because I have only heard good things.
All right,
about
we got a
Apple-
fact check
about-
show
about-
going
about-
on. Here we
about
go.
Apple- about Apple
Here
security.
we go.
All right, is this on?
Yeah.
Yes.
How
it's
much
on.
time do you have?
God damn it! No.
You got.
Don't do it.
Sum it up, dude.
Okay.
Reader's Digest version. Here we go.
Every cell phone has two computers in it.
Yes.
It has the applications processor and the baseband processor.
Right.
Right. Okay. The baseband processor is the master processor, which means it can halt the applications processor. And the application processor is what you see on. It does all the shit you see on the screen. It does your fingerprints. It does all that stuff. So the baseband processor can halt the applications processor, can read any amount of memory from the
And the
application
baseband
processor,
is in charge of all the radios.
and has direct connection to all the RAM, all the I/O devices, and everything.
Right.
Now, even on an Android device where it's running Linux, right, that only runs on the application processor. The baseband processor runs closed source firmware that is sourced from like one of 4 companies in the entire world. You just look it up. The list will blow your mind. And this is why there's never been any real research into the vulnerabilities of baseband processors, because anytime anybody discovers one,
Get shut down.
they get shut down because the quote-unquote bugs in it are probably there on purpose. So anytime you hear like, oh, hey, NSA can go and like turn on your microphone or whatever, that's all done through the baseband. Okay, if you want a phone that has a real security story, go to Purism, PURI.SM. They're launching a new phone called Librem 5.
I remember you told me about that.
Which
maybe
has
a while ago.
an isolated baseband. So we can't do an open source baseband. Actually, so if you want to pick a fight as an open source hacker, the entire 5G network is being done mostly at the Linux Foundation, like all the infrastructure for 5G networks and edge caching and all that shit. That's all open source, all done at the Linux Foundation. However, why don't we have open source baseband firmware? Why isn't there an open hardware baseband? That's an open source fight. I just wrote an editorial for Linux Journal about like, that's the fight we need to be fighting right now.
For open source basebands.
Yes, 100%. 5G, there should be a RISC-V processor, right? Open hardware running open source firmware. If we want to, as hackers, as open source hackers, pick a fight, like this is our new fight against the big evil, empire.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
until then, till we solve that one, get a Librem 5. It runs stock Linux on the applications processor, and the baseband is isolated. It's actually on a USB bus, and there's physical switches. If you flip a switch, it cuts all power to the baseband. So you can turn all the radios off, and yeah, it's a grand unified communication device.
So you're saying it basically goes Librem, Apple, Android? As far as
No, I would
security?
say Librem Android Apple, because Apple clearly has a lot of power, and they probably, I don't know, they're not transparent about their connections to governments.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
There was.
All right, hold on. We have one
There
more
was a-
community mic.
Get up to the mic.
There was. I don't know if somebody can find it, but there was. I remember about 2 years ago, a phone where somebody had written their own baseband, and what they learned from that is like all the cell phone towers that were not encrypted that should have been encrypted. Like you would go up near Nellis Base. There was a whole article on that about like the encryption that's turned on by the towers to encrypt the communications on many of them was just off. And it was amazing where they found that. And that gets back to the whole baseband argument. He's absolutely right. The baseband is the only piece of any phone we have no control over. Qualcomm makes 90% of them in Android.
Right.
So as far as that goes, and that's your biggest vulnerability there. And getting back to like even with the 3 and the 3A, we kind of went off where I was originally. And there's the specs are actually in some ways better on the 3A. The 3A has a headphone jack. The 3A has higher resolution.
That is true.
So those are two things that actually things to look at. So sometimes cheaper is better.
Sometimes cheaper is better. And speaking of that, people are posting in the live stream channel on our Discord about phones, specifically the Redmi and Redmi Pro, which are good, cheap, very cheap mid-range phones. But the problem is you can't get them here in America unless you know where to buy them from, which is a pain in the ass in and of itself. So I do not recommend Redmi phones. I don't.
Chinese ones, right?
Those are the Chinese ones.
Yeah.
Even outside of them being Chinese phones, I don't recommend them because it's a pain in the ass and a half to get them here, and it's not worth the additional cost to get them here. Like you'd be better off getting a Pixel. I mean, not a Huawei at this point, obviously, or a OnePlus or something. You're gonna pay a bit more, but it's easier. And most consumers don't want to work. That's the problem. They want to go into a store. They're like, I like that phone. I want that, and that's the end of their transaction.
Right. Doxy, you're the one who keeps kind of reminding us about this, but I'm starting to kind of try to internalize this. But when we're talking about technology, when we're talking about what we're doing here, we gotta have. It's almost like having two conversations. There's the conversation that we have as technical people and people in this room would understand,
Right.
and then there's the conversation of like what Doxy just said. I like this phone. It looks cool. It's this amount of money. I go in and I go to the store. I leave with a new phone, and that's all I give a shit about.
That's how 90% of people do their tech shopping.
Right.
They're like I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe Amazon, maybe at the most, but most people are like they're in a store like, oh shit, I do need a new phone. Pop in the store or a laptop or a fucking smartwatch or whatever it is. They're like, oh, which ones do you have? Between these options, I'm gonna get one of these. They're not gonna do any additional research,
Right.
Unless they know someone who's like probably don't get those.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth the hassle.
But it's interesting to see at what price point we had to get to in order for people to reconsider the mid-grade phone as like a viable option, right? So like you keep pushing it. Phones are $300, now they're $450, now they're $500, and you keep going, and then you see that the market says, well, $1,200 is too much. Fuck it, let's go back to like a $500 phone.
This is the first generation now of Pixel phones that I skipped. I
Same.
didn't get
the
the
Pixel
3.
3, right?
You and me both.
Yeah, I still have the 2. I'm still rocking the 2 XL.
Yeah, you and me both.
And it's actually broke now, so I need to actually get a new phone. But yeah, no, this is the first time I've skipped one just because of that. And I was actually kind of thinking about the 3A or the 3A XL.
Me too.
Yeah.
So because at first I was considering, I did get a OnePlus 6T to replace my 2XL, and then I was like, I'm just gonna wait until whatever next generation, and I'll just deal with whatever happens then. But now with this resurgence of mid range, and not that it's like gonna be a mass thing, maybe who knows yet, but like if this is a trend, I would love for this to continue because I definitely would buy the 4A or 4A XL.
I think it becomes a trend when we start buying this material instead of $1,200 phones. Community mic. I mean, in mass though. Go ahead.
Your XL, do you think it's worth it?
The 2XL?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's given me no problems. The only problem I have with the phone, the only reason I need to get a new one is because I was installing a ceiling fan like a month ago and I leaned up against a ladder and broke the screen.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You gotta put
Everybody here,
the
like,
put the glass
collectively
part towards you.
What's that?
You got to put the glass part towards you.
Well, yeah.
Well, I have the
I mean,
I have the
hindsight's
Pixel 2, and I'm
20/20.
perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
You just think the XL is worth the money? Is the screen resolution there?
I thought it was great. Yeah.
I like.
Especially now. If you're buying it now,
I know for me the decision between like a 2 and a 2 XL or a 3 and 3 XL is always screen size. I like bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger is better for me.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of the notch, but it wasn't that bad. I use my friends, a mutual friend of ours. It's not that bad, and I like it, and I like the extra real estate in the screen. So
Yeah.
for me, it's fine.
So
if you
it's-
like smaller phones,
Do you think it's too large for your hand or anything like that, or do you have to fumble with it?
I got big hands.
Okay.
No, and I feel like a phone is a central point of my life anyway, so I usually have 2 hands on it. Like I can manipulate it pretty easily if I need to do something, and if I don't, I put it away.
Don't get me wrong. Like at this point, I think it's safe for everybody to say that a phone is something that you probably should invest in as far as like durability.
Yeah.
It'll last a while
Oh,
because
yeah,
you're going to
yeah,
use
yeah.
it for business, social. You're going to be using that phone daily.
Well,
so
Pixel is less than 0.1% of all phones sold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's absolutely.
It is truly
outside of
a
this
niche
group,
phone.
I don't know anybody in my regular life that has a Pixel.
I mean, okay, this isn't your normal regular life, but it was featured in Marvel Avengers Endgame.
Oh, really?
That was a phone the kids used when the Hulk took a picture with them.
oh,
Yeah, just
The Pixel?
Yeah, that was a
Pixel
Pixel.
3X.
That was a
Yeah,
Pixel.
Pixel 3X.
Just
yeah.
a little Easter egg for you guys.
that
So-
means Google paid ad money to Marvel.
I think they got it.
What a great segue, Chen.
No, I'm saying they did.
No, they.
Well, I guess ad money is not the same as ad
yeah.
blocker.
Yeah, Google's got money.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
for
They,
sure.
have, they have money.
They
A
got
lot-
Avengers like money.
Right. A long time ago, not long. Well, yeah, I guess it was a long time ago. Like you realize, I took a cinematography class.
It could be.
And you realize that like every brand that you see in a movie
Yeah.
is paid for.
Of course.
Like, yeah, I know,
Every
you
single
get
one.
it, but like, I mean everything.
Yeah.
Like
You don't understand why?
That's why, like, when
cars,
you know,
phones,
well,
everything.
That's
Fucking
why, like, if
Starbucks.
you look in a car, like all the people in the movie are driving one brand of car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, totally different subject, but I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Still something we could talk about when we have a marketing centered show. But yeah, if we want to segue, let's segue into Google blocking ad blockers.
I mean, he said ads, and that triggered my ad.
No, but
blocker
that reminded
thing.
me.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so first of all, do we have any more comment on this? I think
First of all, I feel like if we want more mid-range phones, support mid-range phones, get a 3.8 or a 3.8 XL.
yeah.
So you mentioned this right before the community mic. Google has a history of, I remember it being called something like TikTok or something like that, where they would have one conference where they do a major release, and then on the next year they do kind of a minor release. Like, they'd release like some little updates to Android, but then the next one, hey everybody,
Are we talking about
donuts
Google
coming.
I/O?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay.
Google I/O, and there was like
but
another one.
they always only do they do two, but like I mean they do Google I/O.
That's what I'm talking
early April,
Yeah.
April or May ish,
And then the
and
one
then
in-
they do their phone announcement late in October.
Exactly. So I kind of wonder if they're going to do something like that. Like every other year, they'll release a budget phone, and then they'll release the flagship, and then a budget phone, and then a flagship. Because it seems like what they're doing.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would
come
prefer
to think
if they
about it,
release them all at
when-
the same time. But I feel like 4 phones at once is a lot
That's
to
too
chew.
much.
It's a lot to chew.
Hold on, when did they release the 3A? Because it seems like
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, okay.
Or like maybe a month ago.
okay, because it
Maybe a
seems
month
like I was
ago,
just kind of scrolling Twitter feed and I started seeing advertisements for it.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, we'll move on to this to the next subject in just a second. Let's go one more community mic.
I'm just wondering if like they're using the 3As to help keep the value of the Pixel 3 and 3 XL up, because people won't be looking for those budget ones as much. They're going to satisfy that need with the 3A and be able to sell the 3 and the 3 XL at that higher price longer than they
Right.
normally would.
Yeah, but they're getting ready to release the 4 later this year.
Wait, so you're saying they're trying to stop people from going outside the Google ecosystem by allowing them to have budget phones in Google?
Well, they've always lowered the price a little bit as time goes on,
Yes.
right? So by having something already at that price point, they don't need to lower it.
Oh, but they already have. They just discounted the Pixel 3 and 3 XL by $200.
Well, I bought a Nexus 6 back when it, new for like $300.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to get that low. I'm saying there's going to be tiers.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Any other comment on this?
Support mid-range phones.
Yeah,
And
I
if you
agree.
if you want a phone with a headphone jack, the 3A is your absolute best
that's
bet
right.
by a mile.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
If you've been bitching about headphone jacks for the last 6 months or whatever, buy goddamn 3A. It's your best bet by far.
Yeah, I agree. I'm done with the $1,000 phones. They're just like we were saying earlier, hardware specs.
See, I'm not going to say I'm done with them.
I'm
Okay,
not
but
gonna
it's
say
gonna-
I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's gonna have to be like really, 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 really good. I think at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay,
like-
all right. So what constitutes? Okay, 'cause again, this is part of what we talked about earlier. What constitutes really, really, really good? Because they're all the same. Every photo you
See,
take.
and that's the problem though. If they're all the same and you can just get the same hardware in a mid-range phone, why would you go for a $1,200 phone?
I mean, that's a good point. Also,
You're not wrong. They'd have to have some killer, like maybe the foldable thing is the next
with
thing.
the foldable cam. Oh, no,
foldable
I mean,
screen.
Oh, actually,
for some people, for
I
sure.
wanted to talk about
Not
that
for me,
with
not
you,
for me.
Doxy, because you're our senior mobile correspondent. Okay, so if for those of you, wait, was it a OnePlus? It was a OnePlus, right? OnePlus 7?
The OnePlus 7
the-
Pro.
The camera, right?
OnePlus 7 Pro.
Yeah, so the camera now, instead of being like in the back of the form factor or in the front, like it pops up
Pops
out
up,
of the
yeah.
Out of the chassis.
What do you guys think about that?
Okay, so
That's interesting.
I like that they implemented a like a fall detection feature, so that if it drops from your hand, it automatically collapses back in, so it won't break. But I think it's still too susceptible to accidental damage. Like if you're holding it and like
You're holding it and you turn, you hit a
turn,
brick
you
wall
hit
or
something
whatever.
or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
because I do that a lot actually.
I'm sure they've thought about stuff like this, but it's probably maybe the best of the worst, but it's still not grabbed me yet, if that makes sense. Community mic.
So I mean, it's gonna be just the same thing as the Matrix phone. If any of you guys saw, I think it's the second Matrix movie. They have the one. They have a phone where like they push a button, the bottom like comes out, and
I
they
want
talk
that.
into it.
I want it.
They made it because of the movie, and they had the biggest issue of the springs or whatever it used for the pop-out mechanism just wearing out over time.
I was gonna say you have
Yeah.
movable parts.
yeah,
That's where it gets all
this
fucked
is
up.
gonna be the same thing. Like
Yeah.
obviously, This was like what, 14 years ago, 15 years ago. That
But
the
screens
second
haven't
Matrix,
changed that much.
the second Matrix.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, wait
I
a
don't
minute.
think it was the second. I think it was the first.
Was it in the first?
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one when isn't it when he's running from
Yeah.
like he's in the cubicle. Yeah, dude. Matrix. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Matrix came out in '97.
Oh yeah.
Like for fuck's sake, that's 20 years old.
Yeah, so,
22. Shit.
Well, in that case, so obviously, so it's like 22 years. We probably have better mechanical parts to put in it, but it's still gonna wear.
It's still gonna wear. It's still
And
fallible.
all
that
it's gonna
stuff.
take, like drop detection. All it takes is them dropping it at an odd angle where it's like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, there's my camera gone.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have a phone where the camera never goes back in, and it just looks fucking weird all the time. I don't know. But also the Zenfone 6.
Oh, there's one you're saying like flips the
Right.
front camera back.
It takes the back camera and flips it into the front, so the back camera is the front facing camera. Also, just flips it up.
So
that's
16.
kinda cool.
Yeah, so you have 16 megapixels in the back and the front.
Yeah, and I don't. I mean, I'm sure it takes fucking phenomenal pictures, but I don't want my cameras fucking flipping around and stuff. I don't know what the solution is, and maybe this is the best we're gonna get. I don't know. I haven't thought about it that much, but I feel like we have better options.
I don't think it's that long until that someone's figured out a way to get the camera behind the screen.
Which is okay. That's what I said today.
Oh, you
at
did?
lunch. I said
God
that at lunch.
damn.
A camera behind.
Dude,
Yeah.
we can't. I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
I think the best. Okay, so I do know a solution. Have the camera in the screen, and it's like overlaid with a digitizer or whatever that like shows screen, and then when you need the camera, it just like darkens out its camera.
Well, you already have the One Plus that has the fingerprint reader on the screen or in the screen behind the
Well,
screen.
yeah, but that's completely different.
Not completely.
I mean, it doesn't take pictures. All it does is read
No,
my
but
fingerprint.
it's some sort of lens or input
Yeah.
device behind the screen.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true.
So-
We're doing a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff with screen technology. So
I don't know about you
Can you,
guys,
like-
but having a camera that you can't see behind a screen just opens up too many things for me. I would not be cool with that
why?
because you can't see it. Where else are they going to put them? I mean, it's
mean-
just one of those. Yeah, okay.
What's
The
your problem
screen
with
display
not
would have to
seeing
change.
them?
But what's different than seeing the camera and
Well, I
not
mean,
seeing
once
it?
that technology is out, you don't know. You'd be walking through the store, you think you're looking at a display. They're sitting there watching you on camera.
You think they're not doing that already?
Well, to a point, yes.
But does it matter where your surveillance is obtained? Like whether it be a smoked camera or behind a mirror? But does that matter to you?
Well, they would be looking at your take on what you're watching. They would be looking, using that for ad research purposes. Think about it. You
Okay.
put it in a display. Hey, who's looking at this ad? At what point do they walk away? That's the first place they're going to go with that, and there goes your privacy.
Okay, I can see that.
But I mean,
I was thinking in the surveillance point of
I
view,
mean-
but yeah, I got it.
so we touched on this a little bit last week, though. Or week before, once a technology is ready to be discovered, it's gonna be discovered. You know what I mean? Like once all the right
Yeah, you
pieces
can't
are in
stop
place,
it. You really can't stop it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we think about I don't know if the Amazon store where you can just go in and get stuff. Mm-hmm. There's one of those, right? Or maybe
Yeah, it was
two.
just like a test market thing in Seattle.
Seattle? Yeah.
Like, think about that. They're like, oh shit, Devin came here. He bought these things 3 times a week. He probably really fucking loves whatever this is, you know. So I don't know.
I bet you it's not string cheese.
It's definitely not.
Wait,
string
hold on.
cheese.
Did you just say your name?
No.
Oh.
So people they're already doing that. Like they're already capturing our advertising stuff by like what we buy when we purchase the stuff. It would be weirder, I guess, if like the camera was inside the bag of chips I'm buying or whatever, or inside the panel, I guess. But I mean, it's not a new thing, and it would make me wary of the technology. That's
So
me personally.
Those smart refrigerators with the screen on the front, they don't have cameras yet, right?
I honestly don't know.
Because that is something I wouldn't get.
Watching you,
They
at
already
3
know what you're eating.
Watching you
Yeah,
at
but they
3
don't
a.m.
need to see what I'm eating while naked
Well,
in my house.
I didn't need that.
Exactly. Nobody needs that. Not even me.
some Samsung.
I shower with my
representative
clothes on
does.
because I'm ashamed of my body.
Well, that's probably a good decision. I'm playing.
I forgot.
I know,
why-
I just blew his mind.
I forgot why we got into this
Because
tangent.
he's thinking about me walking around naked like, God damn it, Chen.
That is absolutely not what I'm thinking about.
Not at all.
No.
Not even close. Final
Maybe a
thought-
little close. No,
Final
okay.
thoughts? Buy mid-range phones.
Yes, 100%. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm done with the
That's
more
what,
than
that's why we
1K
got onto
phone.
this.
Yeah.
Because I, like Satchel, am not done with expensive phones,
Mm-hmm.
but I just hope they're not getting outrageous. I mean, they're already outrageously expensive, but bring it down a little bit.
There's got to be a reason. Now, here's what the mid-range phones have done. Now I have to have a reason
to want to go up a tier.
to want to go up a tier.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah. So now maybe I get the 3A XL, and I'm like, plastic.
And like after a while, you will like. I feel like for us, we would notice a slowdown in the processor over time. You're like, oh, it's not as fast as I would imagine it to be, based on like experiences with 2XL and stuff. Maybe, or maybe whatever. I don't know. And that would be like, that's why I want to upgrade.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for people, they're just like, I'm doing Instagram and Snapchat. They don't give a shit. Like,
Right.
fucking, it's awesome. The battery lasts forever. It's fucking phenomenal.
All right, so now I think we're cool with moving on to the next subject,
Let's do it.
which is still Google related though. So here we are. It is the Google show. Not copyrighted or anything like that. So anyway, so right now we're talking about this article, which the title is "Everyone's Mad About Google Blocking Ad Blockers in Chrome, and Here's Why." So essentially, and this article was brought to our attention by Doxy.
McNutt.
Oh, McNutt. Okay, cool. So from what I gathered from the article, they're making a change in, I think, a completely different API as far as the browser extensions for the ad blocking.
Yes, they're changing their API so that it doesn't block. It won't. The API won't allow you to block browser requests through the API call they're using before. It's now in observance mode, so it can just observe these things happening. I'm assuming it can't act on them, so it can't act on it to block the ad requests and stuff. And I could be fucking up the terminology and stuff, but it doesn't allow you to block those requests. It's like, oh yeah, these are ads, but you can't do anything about them.
And that's of course only in the Chrome browser. So if you're using Firefox or any other browser that has extensions, you'll still be able to use your ad blockers.
This is specifically about Google Chrome. So Google Chrome has made it. They haven't explicitly said they're blocking ad blockers, but they've made it so that ad blockers do not work at all.
They just took away their functionality.
They took away the functionality. The specific API call was web request, with the intent to limit the blocking version of web requests, potentially removing blocking options for most events, making them observational only.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so again, speaking to a technical crowd here, we solved the problem with, like, let's say a pie hole, at least in the full scope of your LAN or your network, or you don't use Chrome.
Yeah, so someone actually recommended using Brave. It's apparently built on Chromium, so all of your Chrome plugins and even themes work on it, but it doesn't have that same issue with the
ad blocker.
Yeah,
but I mean,
blocker.
once I feel like Chromium will be updated with this.
Don't think so. If it's only Chrome, yeah,
Chromium's
Chromium's
open source.
open source.
Right? Yeah. Chromium is open source, so it won't be affected by this plague.
Community Mike.
So I was reading something by Raymond Gorehill, who created generated uBlock Origin, kind of one of the best ad blockers.
Yeah.
And he basically takes them to town and even questions whether or not we can still call Chrome a user agent anymore. So a user agent is a software that's supposed to kind of advocate for the user and kind of mediate their access to web stuff. And now we might not even have that anymore. So
not through Chrome.
I think it's time to dump Chrome. I don't know if Chromium is going to adopt the Manifest v3 thing. I think this actually is in Chromium, as far as I know. So it's kind of an example of where Google's kind of using their influence to control open source software, as far as I know. Now that might be
So what would you call it if not a user agent? Just what?
Corporate agent.
Corporate agent. There we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not a bad term.
So it might be time to reinvestigate what a user agent is and rethink of what a user agent in 2020 should be. And maybe we need to find a different project to tie our horses to.
It sounds like we have a lot of projects for the hacker community this time.
So I mean, I know Chrome was like a champion a long time ago, and it's been slowly getting shittier every year.
The biggest news that I've seen from it is that it's a RAM hog, right? Or is that still the case?
I mean that's the thing, but they've also been taking away functionality and stuff, and just getting rid of things that made it great originally. I feel like, but also I wasn't super into tech when Chrome first came out, so all I knew is that when Chrome first came out, they had tabs, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, man, tabs!"
Yeah.
I was like, "Tabs are." But I didn't have Firefox. I don't know. No one was telling me stuff. I just saw Chrome, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Chrome!" And then now we're just getting stupid things with Chrome, and now I hate it. So Firefox all the way.
So here's the thing, though, and I'm there's probably some people in this room that are gonna yell at me for this.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? That's fine.
No, that's cool. Welcome.
I don't care.
I know. Welcome.
No, not that. I mean about this particular thing.
Oh, okay.
Where we're saying like, oh my God, you're gonna have to look at some ads. I don't care. I'm okay with that.
No, it is not okay.
Holy shit.
Because I
didn't think he was going to say that.
So I saw some articles about it, and I did it the same on my own.
Okay.
I turned off uBlock Origin, and I started like going through what like normal web pages that I do, like stuff I do.
Yeah.
The internet is such a fucking cesspool of ads.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
It's like, remember, like,
How do you see that? And I don't. I don't use any ad blocker at all.
What
And
API?
it's
What
fine.
API are you connected to? Are you
It's on-
connected to the
it's-
Pi-hole AP right now, or
no,
I'm talking like at home or
No,
whatever.
okay. I go on fucking YouTube,
Yeah.
Reddit, some
Okay.
other sites we're not going to
Same.
mention. Fucking,
Okay. Same.
just fucking ads galore, man. It's a
Yeah.
real pain in my ass. Like everything, like there's tons of shit that's just
You got like pop-ups and shit.
pop-ups. Fucking
oh, those things are getting annoying,
those,
dude.
those fucking JavaScript pop-ups.
No.
For like,
Have you seen those? No. Have you seen those like in like you're
No.
browsing an article and like
You must have something else turned on.
You don't. So you don't get the pop up right away. You're scrolling through whatever you're reading. It could be a form. It could be some support thing that you're reading. And then 20 seconds after you've visited and opened the page, then it pops up saying, "Hey, welcome to the fucking page."
Yeah, and it's like it's like a full screen.
And you're
ad.
like, "What the fuck
It's like-
was
it's like-
this?"
It's either sign up for our mailing list
Oh.
or hey, welcome to our page. This is what we do here. I'm like, I know what the fuck is going on here. I'm reading the
Yeah,
goddamn
I was like,
page.
when I first saw that pop up, I was like, "Holy fuck, we're back in 1996."
It's like back in the day with like toolbars. You had like
Dude,
7
it was
toolbars.
Oh, God, that
You
was
had-
some bullshit. I remember that.
It's like that, but like you it's always fucking there.
So as you can tell, Satchel, we still hate ads. Yes.
No. Well, so hating ads is one thing, and if I had that experience, I'd probably be on board. But I fucking don't, and I don't know why.
You must have something else turned on
No,
or something.
I get my Windows PC. This is just bone stock Chromebook.
I did it.
Like-
I did it. I tested it just one day because I read an article about it. I was like, I haven't seen an ad like in a really long time. I don't even know like what's going on. I turned it off and I was like, immediately, just fucking immediately. I was like, this is okay. No fucking
Weird.
way. No fucking way.
I don't
Absolutely
know
never.
how.
I honestly don't know what you're doing. Maybe
Yeah, you don't have anything at home
You have
like
a
a
special
source
sauce.
file or
No,
you're more of a hardware person.
that is true.
I mean, no, I'm just saying
Ish.
like,
like a.
But yeah,
well, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. You've been graced.
I
don't
guess I don't know. Like,
Or maybe he doesn't visit those sites that you visit.
I
Nazi.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming Sasha goes on YouTube and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and like they're not super obtrusive on YouTube, but they're like apparent, like in the corner and stuff. There's like a lot of real estate
Oh,
taken
I
up by.
wonder.
And maybe you just don't notice it.
No, I bought YouTube Red,
Oh, premium.
the premium.
Oh, I did too.
So I never see any of that shit on
Yeah,
YouTube
that's true.
ever.
I
Like,
got YouTube
like
Red.
whenever my wife watches anything on YouTube, it's just disgusting. I'm like, oh my God, they make you watch a fucking
Yeah,
ad
so you know
before
what
a
he's
video?
talking about now.
That's that.
No,
that sucks.
but even outside the ad
Yeah.
on the video, I mean on the page itself, like
Oh, like on the side.
There's like the recommended videos and stuff. There's like ads in between and above
Mm-hmm.
those and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it even
Right.
with YouTube Red?
No,
I
no,
mean,
Oh, okay.
YouTube Red, there's no
because,
ads.
because I have YouTube Red, but I don't. Maybe I wasn't signed in at that point.
I was gonna say, are you signed into your right account?
I don't sign in everywhere, dude. You can't be fucking giving everywhere my logins.
no, I'm just saying, like,
willy nilly out here.
Yeah.
But no, even okay. YouTube is one thing, but even outside of that, the other sites I visit, ads.
Weird.
yeah, the ads
I don't
are
know.
all
Maybe
over the place.
maybe I just fucking I'm real
But
dangerous on the
unlike
internet.
you, I do have. Well, I guess you have YouTube Red too. So okay.
But that's one site.
No, I know. I'm
Isn't
just
it-
saying, like, we're not
Like
inundated.
I mean, like even like news articles, like digital news articles and stuff like that. All those sites where I read articles and stuff on, all of them, all the fucking time. Ads.
well, that's the only way they can make their money now because nobody's subscribing to their news, right? So
I'm
I've
not- I'm
heard.
definitely not going to if you fucking throw it in my face and you're like,
No, I know. That's like
subscribe to me. You
I hate
bitch.
every time I get a link to a certain website and they're like, democracy dies in the darkness, and that's why we make the page white so you can't read it.
what?
I missed it.
Freaking Washington Post. Like their slogan is democracy dies in the darkness, but if you don't have a subscription, they make the page fade to white.
Oh wow.
Because you only get 4 articles a month. I'm like, well, stop sending me here, Google.
Hold on. Now I'm curious. Is that based off of IP or? Are you wait? Is that based off of IP or like how's that based?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty-
think
it's
so
yeah,
because
it's
I
probably
could use a
IP.
different.
So you just roll proxy and then keep
Because
reading?
if you're not
I
logging
could
in,
do that, but I could just also not care.
I don't know.
And go to
Let's
somewhere
find
else.
out. Community mic.
It's a tracking cookie that they put on your.
Okay.
On your,
Privacy badger from EFF. And
yeah, you can do privacy badger, privacy private tab, but they've got a way to figure that out now. So they're now saying you're running. Yeah, so
Dude, the hacker wars are literally how to block and allow ads. That's all it is anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. That's why we're security people. That's why we're administrators. It's all for this fucking chess game.
I'm down to a custom host file that I download.
Real fucking old school.
Yeah, I'm down to like on my laptop, custom host file. That's it, and basically I basically secure copy a new one over from my server that keeps it updated.
Yep.
Nice. But I mean, that's such a
It's a technical solution, but yeah.
It is a very technical solution. And I mean, it's smart, but it's such a pain in the ass. Also,
What would you rather have, though? That pain in the ass, or would you rather be seeing those ads that you call the reason why you called the internet a cesspool?
I would rather use Firefox or somewhere else.
I do nothing special at all to my Chromebook.
You're lying to me, and I don't like it.
No, I am not.
No.
You're
Swear.
lying to me, Sasha, and I don't like it.
I am not. I am a card carrying member of the Real Keepers. I'll have you know. I
So-
must keep it real at all times.
So what do you do? What do you do about like flash pop-up ads, videos playing on their own? You just live with it? Is
I don't
what you're telling
have
me?
them. I don't fucking have them.
Well, I don't have
If-
Flash installed, so I don't have Flash pop-up videos, but I get other dumb never mind.
Hold on, were you about to reference another site that you go to? Because I think we have
Nope.
people.
He said nope.
No, because I
Nope.
think we have people in the
Nope.
live stream who are trying to guess what other sites Doxy visits.
I don't think it's that hard.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
saying, it
I
might
mean-
start with porn and end with hub. I don't know.
I love cheese.
That's for basic bitches, okay? That's for basic bitches.
I'm just saying. I'm
Okay.
just saying. All right. So anyway, if you don't want to see if you want your ad blocker to keep working, use Firefox or Pi-hole. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, but that's a super technical solution that most people are not
I
going to
know.
do.
Yeah.
I know.
The
Or
easy-
use Firefox.
Get a
That's the
fucking
easy one.
Chromebook.
That's not going to block your ads.
Apparently, it's
And-
working for
and-
him.
No, and I feel like that's leaning in the wrong direction because I don't want to. I mean, okay, I support Google obviously, but I don't want to support Google if they're going to do dumb shit like this. I wish
I actually don't have a problem with it.
with them taking
This
away
is
the ability
blowing
to
my
block
mind right
ads.
now.
Well, no, so I don't know why it would, because I've always been of the opinion that we're post-security. I've been saying that forever, right?
What?
We're post-security.
Hold on, we can't hear you. You guys can debate
Yeah.
this later.
Wait,
Oh, shit. No.
Look what you did. Look what you
Yeah,
did.
I put-
goddammit.
I put
this
a
is
nickel
an
in
after
it.
hours discussion.
All right, that's cool.
But
no,
also,
it's
but
just
also,
like-
but also, can you define the term post security so we all know so we're all on the same page?
What I'm saying is that no matter what you do, unless you're going to go out to a fucking shack in the middle of the goddamn forest and live off the fat of the land, right? You're going to go tend to the rabbits. Okay, then in that case, yes, you can be untracked. And you're going to use your freaking... What's that? You know what? I'll go along with
We're
that.
saying- so audience,
Post-privacy,
yeah.
what he said was post-privacy, not post-security. I'll go along with that.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm in favor of it.
Hold
I'm
on.
saying it's the way it
After
fucking
hours,
is.
please. He's about to explode.
He's
He's
gonna
about
do
to
it.
explode.
No,
I kind of like it.
he can't help it.
Oh, God damn it. Okay,
He can't-
please.
he's got-
I'm not going to take over. I just want to say
He's
this,
gonna take
Satchel.
over.
I understand why you would feel that way. Right.
oh, okay.
No, I get it. I get it.
I know where you're. I see you.
No, I get
Go
it.
ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No. This. No.
Yeah.
It is not. I legitimately see because
understand how
everything
you
you're
feel.
seeing right now says that is true,
Right.
and that's because with the technology that we have right now, that is 100% true. You're not wrong
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you, but again, this is another hacker fight, right?
It comes.
We are building. By we, I mean like
The
there's-
collective
the open
community.
source community is building this whole thing called self-sovereign identity, which is going to be the great privacy clawback of 2020.
Great. I'm on board.
That's
I'm
all I
not
wanted
on-
to say. I'm
I'm
not
not-
going to argue with you.
When I say I'm
you're
on board,
100% right.
I don't mean I'm actually going to work for it because I'm not going to promise that.
No,
I
that's
won't
fine.
do it.
But I'm waiting to see what it is.
There, that one there. I like.
We can
okay.
talk about this after hours. I'll explain to you how it works, and your head's just going to go. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun. It's
yeah.
really, really fun.
Okay.
But
So if
yeah.
that's the case, if that happens and there's no reason to say it won't, cool. Then my opinion will change. But as of this exact moment,
Fair.
I think we're in
yeah,
agreement.
You're 100% right. I
Yeah.
would not argue with you
Post
at all. We
privacy
are
currently,
post-privacy
not
right now.
post security, is what we're saying, right?
Yes,
I would say the same thing.
because
agree.
like
Yeah.
you know, if I want to keep my credit card, or if I want to keep my food purchases away from the government so they don't know I'm sheltering someone or whatever, then I can't do that. Like either I'm on camera buying food somewhere, or my credit card, or the fact that I took a cash deposit out at an ATM that's near a grocery store.
Right.
There's 10 bazillion ways to fucking track
There's
you.
a ton of correlating factors. yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And people that do nothing but collate that data and spit it out.
There's billions and billions of dollars being made just correlating.
By the way, we're
Absolutely.
not sponsored by Kaggle. Anyway,
Who the fuck is Kaggle?
dude, it's a massive data hoarding or data like analytics site, dude.
Yeah.
You have a whole bunch of
So-
data sets. You said massive
Isn't
data.
that Crazy Glue?
Everybody thought I was exploding. I just wanted to come over here to say you were right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
This episode is blowing my mind right now.
Yep.
Satchel had a thought that I didn't think he'd have. You guys
What?
didn't
Why?
fight.
Why did you not think? I've only been saying it for like fucking 6 months.
No. Wait, now I forgot what the idea was. No. Oh, I remember now. It was the ad thing. You said even you yourself said, "Oh, I think I'm going to get punched here, but I'm okay with ads." And
No,
even then, I was like,
I'm okay with ads as I see them.
Which you don't.
I barely do.
For some weird fucking reason,
That
you-
weird
you
shit
know.
will happen, like where I mention something, like like, hey, we should get a bumper for the Cherokee, and then I'll see nothing but ads for bumpers for the Cherokee. I'm like, okay, I see you, Google.
You know,
But let me go to this site.
You know what, honestly, for as weird as that fucking is, I don't mind it. Whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm looking up whatever I look up on the internet,
Yes.
if I start seeing ads for it,
we're gonna start a
don't
Twitter
mind it
poll
that much.
on our Greynoise Twitter account where like we ask if anybody can guess which sites Doxy frequents.
I don't mind it that much because I mean I'm gonna do it anyway, so it just makes it easier for me to get to certain sites. Whatever, I don't give a shit. But the intrusive ones, that's fucking weird.
I hacked his system years ago. I've been watching him.
Yeah, see, there you
For,
go.
like,
You're
years.
playing with the wrong people.
I mean, my fetish is just watching Doxy. So
All right, then.
It's a popular thing,
Yeah.
you know. I get it.
All right.
that's
do
why
we
we're
have
so
time?
close.
Do we have time? I don't think we have time for the Google Glass thing. Or do you?
Why don't you do the Google?
We'll say real quick. Google,
Okay.
Google.
Google Glass version 2 is on the horizon. Are you guys gonna get it?
No, it's only
I'm-
for manufacturing and.
It's for manufacturing and.
So the answer is
So-
no because it's only for manufacturing and other things.
So that's what it's intended for. It is not intended to be the all singing, all dancing, alternate reality, blah blah blah. But a private citizen, if they want to, can buy it.
I will say the form
But-
factor looks better. They look like actual glasses instead of a visor with some weird,
So here's the deal with the Google Glass, and I think that this is what they missed the last time. It is not for wearing in public.
Yes.
It's not what it's for.
Agreed.
If I had one of those with some kind of an app that could I could hold a resistor up to the camera and it would tell me the resistance level of it by reading the color codes. I'm
Which
on
I feel like
board.
is why it's perfect for working in plants and stuff because you're only going to be doing like work and whatnot there. So if you can identify things,
Yeah.
or if it can identify things for you,
Right.
You don't need a manual next to you. You just
Yep.
you're looking at things that's telling you what it is or what it connects to or whatever.
Speaking of the manual, if I can keep a PDF open in my peripheral vision, I'm fucking there. If I can just
I can get behind that.
I can just push, instead of having to keep my screen awake or change the thing and then my battery runs down, blah blah blah. No, fuck that.
And it
It's
wouldn't
right
go into
there.
screensaver mode.
Yeah. Or if it did, I'd just be like, wake up, and
Right.
it would show the fucking thing. Or tap
Whatever,
it.
it's just fucking whatever. It's there.
It's there.
It's there, and
Yeah.
it's like you don't have to like hold it awkwardly or anything. It's on your
Right.
fucking face. It's like right in your.
Yeah.
You're looking at it.
So there is a use case for it. I just feel like last time they misrepresented what that use case was.
Because everybody thought they'd be like walking down the street.
This is gonna be the great
Google
new
Glass.
thing. I got the Google Glass on. I'm awesome.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I was one of those people.
Yeah?
I was like, fuck yeah, I want Google Glass.
Yeah.
Walk down the street, tell me where to go, directions and whatnot.
that would be actually kind of
That'd be
cool.
awesome.
But once you get there, you gotta take the shit off,
Because everyone's gonna make fun of you immediately,
and they should.
and they should.
You deserve it.
Rightfully so. If you
Yeah.
walk in anywhere and you're like,
Yeah.
like looking up stuff, like you're fucking idiots.
Well now, especially if you're at the club and you're just looking up a recipe for risotto or whatever the fuck
At a club?
And I don't know, shut up. And every
who knows what people do at clubs?
and every girl in the place thinks you're taking pictures of them.
Yeah, that's
there's a
pretty
good
fucking
chance you're gonna get your Google Glass ass kicked. So
Your Google Glass kicks.
I was thinking about that as I said it. That's,
Oh my God, am I turning into you? For fuck's sake.
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, so that's our opinion on this. I think the form factor for the second version does look a little way better, actually.
I think so.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's for something to aid you in maybe research or what you're working on. It's not to be worn in public. I don't think.
Absolutely
I agree.
not.
So
Yeah. But man, working on electronics kits, God, I would fucking kill.
I
for
mean,
one.
Here's the thing: either it's going to get better to the point where they do release a consumer version, like another consumer version, like a real consumer version,
Actually, fuck that. Let's go into contact lenses. I could do that.
or they're going to do as Google does, cancel that bad boy.
You son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
there's actually more of a chance that happens,
damn
which
it.
kind of sucks. See, Google, now you're having a reputation for just killing projects. You're the project
Inbox
killer.
was perfect.
I know. we
Inbox
could talk
honestly
about that all
literally
day.
was perfect.
Inbox
It really was.
was great.
It was the perfect
All right,
email
guys,
solution.
let's stop
All right.
shitting on Google.
I'm getting upset about
this
Google.
was the Google episode here.
We should come back to Inbox at some point.
Yeah, we should because it was the perfect email solution.
It was.
All right,
We'll come back.
next
So,
week.
now we are going to go on to the lightning round, which, again, we're still looking for a better news source, but I have to actually ask people in order to get a better news source. So we're still at thehackernews.com. I will not read the clickbaity. Clickbaity. That's all. I will not. Dude, so the person who recommended the Schneier blog on Schneier on security is here in the audience, and I did take a look at that. And although the articles are interesting, they're read like in a blog format, so the title isn't very descriptive. Naturally, that's fine. But remember, in the lightning round, we're kind of just reading headlines and giving our tweets like of an opinion. So it's great content, but it just I don't feel like it would make sense in the lightning round.
We'll do some research this week and
We'll
find
look.
a new.
We'll look. But in any case, here we are. Who wants to start first?
Me.
All right, cool. Doxy's going first. First one, hackers stole customers' credit cards from 103 Checkers and Rally's restaurants.
Shit. That's really fucking weird.
Everybody's a target.
I've never been to Checkers and/or Rallies.
So according to the headline, the sub-headline here, if you swiped your payment card at the popular Checkers and Rally's drive-through restaurant chains in the past 2 to 3 years, you should blah 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 blah. Here are my two thoughts on the matter. One, I'm glad I haven't been to a Rally's or a Checkers in 2 to 3 years. And number two, man, I haven't been to a Rally's or Checkers in 2 to 3 years. That sounds really good.
I don't think I've ever been. Is there even one in Vegas?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, is this,
I've never been to one.
yeah.
There's
Checkers
Wait,
for
right.
sure.
okay, Checkers is.
Is Rally's basically like Hardee's is Carl's Jr. They're the same company.
I've seen this restaurant before,
Yeah.
but because of the way it looks like, I always thought it was an auto shop.
Oh no.
Because
it,
of the-
it says
because of the-
burgers, fries, and
No, I'm looking at the icon.
Real quick, community mic.
Yeah, community mic.
Here we go.
My question is, why are they holding credit card data for 2 to 3 years?
That's
Yes, very good
PCI
question.
says the minimum amount up to 90 days.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
All right, next one. Hackers infect 50,000 MSQL, that's Microsoft SQL, and PHPMyAdmin servers with rootkit malware. Huh.
Every time I install a site or work on a site or whatever, the thing I see the most hits for is PHPMyAdmin. Always, like initially out of the gate, people just fucking scanning, knocking on doors for PHPMyAdmin. So
Yeah, I see that too.
Secure your shit. Also, don't use PHPMyAdmin unless you have to, I guess.
Yeah, but if you're an admin, you wouldn't use PHPMyAdmin. You'd probably stay on the command line.
That's
and-
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
don't use it unless you absolutely
Well,
have to.
the people who are using PHPMyAdmin are probably like HostGator users, right? And shit like that. Anyway, there you go. Okay, so let's see the next one. Not that one, because that's clickbaity. Flipboard database hacked. Users' account information exposed.
Change your passwords immediately and frequently. Get a password manager.
Also remember, haveibeenpwned.com.
Oh yeah, yes.
Maybe it's because I use different accounts at different websites. Like I never use the same one.
I mean, that's
In
good
different
practice
places.
too.
You mean different?
Yeah.
When you say different accounts, you mean different passwords, or do you mean different email accounts?
Different
for every-
different passwords.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That, which is smart. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Community mic.
I don't know.
That is absolutely the best advice is a password manager.
Password manager.
Research them. Find out one that's going to be easy for you to use. Just because
Yes.
it's easy for me to use doesn't mean it's easy for somebody else to use.
Exactly.
Find the one that you're going to use and find the one that fits what you have. Like I have to share passwords with other people sometimes in my life.
Yes.
So you need to be able to do that with your password manager, or I do. You might not. But find one that's going to fit with what you want to do and use a password manager because basically it does for you what Satchel does, which is make a new account, a different setup for every
Yeah.
login.
And
that
then
it
you
has.
know you set and forget. You don't think about it. You,
Right.
remember your master password, and you're good to go for everything else.
Fair.
Yeah, and it's super easy. But pick the one that you will use.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the real critical one.
Make it easy for yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, let's make this the last article. Let's see. Nearly 1 million computers still vulnerable to the wormable Blue Keep RDP flaw.
1 million computers.
I've heard nothing about this, but I mean, if a patch is out, patch your shit. It sounds like a patch is out.
Well, I think this
Yeah.
is the same flaw that was patched by Microsoft on Patch Tuesday that broke Citrix, right? Is this the one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it's also like the 1 million computers they're talking about is XP.
Oh, then fuck it.
Wow.
Well,
Look, man, in my opinion is if you're still using XP,
Well, the hospitals.
God, I know.
I
you
know.
think there should be a bigger effort to get them off. That's a huge problem. Okay, all right. And with that, we wrap it up. And with that, we're done.
Sometimes it takes a lot of time. All right.
I can't believe I
They
fucking.
It's all that arms. You gotta have the arm strength, man.
I'm
For the love of God, spit.
good to go.
It's
I
not
am-
that
Okay,
hard.
okay.
I am.
I
good
mean,
to go.
I don't
That's
know
the
what
problem.
happened, but I'm starting to have
The-
the mindset of Satchel over here. I can't believe this. This is kind of funny.
See, welcome to my world.
No,
It's
not
bad.
funny, haha. Like kind of funny. Like holy shit, I can't believe I'm
okay.
here.
All right.
What about
Kidding,
haha
kidding,
funny?
kidding.
Okay, all right.
All right. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the lightning round, which, as you guys can tell, definitely brings us to the end of the show. We have run out of time, but never out of shit to say. So we will be back here again Friday, like every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. at the Sin Shop. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Go to sinshop.org for more information on that. Go to meetup.com/sinshop for our classes and the things that we do. Remember, Heba Comm is this Sunday, 1 p.m.
Get your hebos ready.
Get your hebos ready. And for those of you who don't know, we're talking about derpy robots and battle bots. Really cool shit.
Yep.
And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. As always, we don't talk shit about Sweden, so we can use that domain. My name is Master Chen.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.
forgot. Just spit on it.
Good night, everybody. Oh my God. Turn it off. Turn it off.